missed it. Dang it.
You don't like my Clark Kent? Look at this Clark Kent. Look at I got the like
Oh,
the little curly
yeah.
little curly bit.
That's slick. The hair's looking.
Wow.
Did you get some work done up here? It's looking.
I did not. No, actually, I will have
good.
my first haircut in 3 months tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
Dude,
you know what? I'm not going to open the page.
It's freaking crazy.
I'm not going to open the page. Tell you why? I want to focus in on you.
You should.
I'm focusing in all my attention 100% on you.
Welcome to MageTalk.
Hey,
formerly known as the Magento podcast. Now this is MageTalk After Dark, Before Dark, where we're going to talk about anything we want to because it's our show and it's not yours. I'm Philip.
That's right. And I'm Kalen, and I endorse this message.
This has been a heck of a day for me. It's been a crazy day.
Talk to me.
This has been a crazy day.
I'll be your therapist for this session.
This is well, I'm getting.
Have
you
ever had Have you ever had a therapist that just drank from a gigantic mug like this the whole time?
I'm from Florida, and everybody just drinks from a gigantic big gulp at all times.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I feel like that would kill the vibe a little bit. Like if your therapist was just like, no, tell me more. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Hold on. I can't live the next 30 seconds without some Diet Dr. Pepper.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm liking the side-by-side screen. I'm kind of liking it. I don't know how you feel about it.
I can't actually see it, but
I don't know. Okay.
I am super pumped about the quality of this Skype stream.
Dude,
because
Skype is killing it. I'm loving
Skype's
the Skype.
Killing the game, dude. Oh man. The Zoom quality is pretty rough.
It's a little
it's
rough.
great for calls for anything that's going to be recorded, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
For something that's just a call that doesn't need to live on beyond the call itself, it's fine. It's great.
I'm going to say it's pretty much impossible to use Zoom for anything that should be watched back. Because nobody's going to want to watch it. It's just so garbage.
It's complete garbage. And I think they do have some high quality options, but nobody knows how that actually works. I mean, nobody knows.
No, and not only do we not know, I mean, it's knowable, but not by me because I don't care that much.
I don't even know if it's knowable. I mean, I've looked into it. Trust me. I mean,
He's looked into it.
I've looked through some settings menus and whatnot.
What are you drinking in that pitcher there?
Nothing but water. Pure H2O.
Not even a little coconut action, a little La Croix. Not even.
This is the next level. Once you get past that LaCroix level, this is the next advancement.
You can't.
Pure water.
Just go pure water.
Pure water. There's this.
I know somebody, by the way. This is crazy. I know somebody who had that desalination thing where they drank too much water and they almost died.
Oh, really? One of those ultra type runners?
Yeah, it's a total thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
That makes sense. Because if you're running for like 95 days straight and you're just drinking water.
Present company excluded. Yeah.
What's the longest you've run now? Because you're getting to some like extremes. You're getting.
Okay. So I have to say I've been injured for the past month. So now is not now so much as it was then. Back in December,
okay.
I ran an ultra marathon in December, and I can watch here. I can do this little picture-in-picture thing. So now it's more me and less you. I'm telling a story.
What?
Back in December, I did this ultra marathon that I trained 6 months for, and an ultra, for those who don't know, is any distance longer than a regular marathon. The shortest distance you can find like that is a 50-kilometer foot race. And so 50 kilometers is 31-ish miles, 31.2, something like that. And but the worst part of that was I signed up for it because it was an hour away from my house. It was so close to my house. And I didn't want to travel out for a race like that because I travel a lot for work anyway. So I was like, I'll just run it. It's a trail race. Great. That's all I knew. Trail race close to my house. Boom. Ultra. Done. And then I got there, and it's a 4-mile circle over and over and over again on a sand dune, Kalen.
On a sand dune.
75% of it, yeah, it was terrible. 75% of it was on beach sand, sugar sand, and there were sand fleas and horse flies, and it was grueling. And the worst part of it was I'd run 31 miles. My wife and kids were on the way to greet me at the finish line, and I got the text. I'm a quarter mile from the finish, and I'm putting on the gas. And I'm like, here we go. I'm going to break it across the finish line. I get a text from Jackie saying, I had to stop for gas, so stall.
What? so that they could meet you as you were crossing the finish line? They could
catch video or a picture of me of like crossing the finish line. And
you're like, babe, I'm stalling. That's not going to happen.
Long story short, I was like, all right, fine. I'll stop and I'll get some water. I'll, eat a Tootsie Roll, and long story short, I wound up stalling. I wound up running in circles out there because I didn't want to stop because I thought I was going to collapse if my heart rate came down. Anyway, long story short, 32 miles, 32.1 miles. I went 1 mile longer than I needed to. Jamie Huskisson in the chat. Hey, Jamie, I'm adding it to the broadcast here. 2 episodes in 2 weeks. Jamie, what are you doing up, man? You just put on like a huge event. Aren't you
it's a big day. It's a big day.
Exhausted?
For Jamie.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Was that the one where you posted Instagram stories and you thought you were going to die halfway through?
Yeah, I got lost. That was a whole freaking thing. Yeah.
Totally remember that. Because it was fun because I was watching it and it was like I was going along with you because halfway through I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't die, because I didn't know how it was going to end, because it wasn't like a post. With a post, it's like, okay, they're not going to post it until it's had a successful outcome. Whereas like stories are a little bit more like a live stream kind of. So it's like, I went through that journey with you, and I thought you weren't going to make it for a while. I was like, oh no, it was nice knowing Phil.
I also thought I wasn't going to make it for a while. There is hold on, I'll show you. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to try though. I'm showing the picture of me. So this is the sand dune. You can see it if you're over on YouTube. This is the sand dune that I had to run up and down. And it has some elevation. I think it's 200 foot of elevation up one side and down the other. And it was freaking miserable, but I finished it. You can see it. It's over on my Instagram if you want to follow me on Instagram. I finished it. It was crazy. 31.24 miles in total. And I think I might have clocked a little longer on... I might have clocked a little bit longer than that on my Garmin or my Coros.
Nice.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm going to try pulling this up. It's a little bit of a risky click because
because you
I got to get a new
you.
computer. Yeah, I got to get. I've been trying to work this out because it's when I'm streaming, bad things happen if I start clicking on things. But I'm going to try to pull this up. I'm not. But yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it. Didn't you buy a new computer? I thought you were going to buy a new computer.
I was thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting a mini. I'm still a little on the fence because I'm just not sure if I need it. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man.
If you had ordered the computer the day that you were pontificating ordering the computer, you would be that much closer to getting the computer with the RAM that you wanted.
Yeah, see, but here's the thing. Is that I think I'm going to just replace the RAM because so the deal with the Mac Minis is that you pay like through the nose for the RAM upgrades.
Sure.
And everybody's telling me that I got to get, at least 16 gigs, which makes sense because I have 8 now and it's clearly not enough. But yeah, so in order to replace the RAM, it's not like that hard. You got to get some special screws. It takes like 15 minutes apparently. So I think
it's 15 minutes or two and a half.
I think
weeks.
I'm gonna just do that. They say you don't. Yeah, totally. And then you save a bunch of money. So I think I'm gonna just go that route because I I don't know. There's something about ordering something and waiting 2 weeks that just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Bothers you.
Unless you're like, bothers me. Unless you're ordering like a house, you know? Like one of those Amazon modular houses you can buy on Amazon for 30 grand.
I believe
I'll wait 2 weeks for
if you are the man who would buy a house on Amazon.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How serious are you about building your own tiny house?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get an RV instead. But
I am so in for that.
You into RVs?
I'm so into it. I'm so into it.
We hung out with a friend today actually who has a farm, 12 acres, and then they have some friends that are renting an acre from them and living in an RV, and it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
Freaking cool.
So it's cool. So I actually hung out on a farm today, and it was awesome. Like it was so cool.
That's really cool.
I just want to have land as far as the eye can see. That's all I want. You know?
I can throw that quote. I want to have land as far as the eye can see. Kaylin.
So you're throwing that into the video?
You can do it. It's a pretty neat little thing.
Dude, you're doing all sorts of fancy stuff.
Doing all kinds of fancy stuff. It's pointless for you to try to go see this right now because you don't have the RAM. We all know that.
I don't have the RAM. I could do it on my phone, but then it would look like I was like, ignoring you and checking my Instagram while we talk like an annoying spouse.
Like I do.
No, keep talking.
No. I'm listening.
I'm not doom scrolling right now. I'm listening.
Oh, dude, that was the best thing ever. Please, can you pull up that tweet? I need to see that tweet. That was good.
Tweet was.
There's I'll try to fish for it as well so I can show it on the live stream. Doom scrolling. I've heard of doom scrolling. There was this whole thing about like, yes, I'll try to go full screen on it. I can't really get it to focus. There was this really interesting, speaking of like doom scrolling, there was this tweet somebody had put out a couple years ago that was like every day of that post 2016 election for a lot of people on Twitter was like, let's see what the fresh horror box has for us today. Let's go find the fresh horrors device and pull up the fresh horror screen.
Exactly. It's been rough. It's been a rough year.
This has been, wow. This year, dude, my gosh.
It's been a challenging year.
The tweet of note here, the one that we were mentioning is, I'll throw it up on the screen, is every marriage has one person who doom scrolls and reads headlines out loud pre-coffee and another person who is begging them to stop.
Exactly.
It's accurate.
Accurate.
Very accurate.
Highly accurate.
Highly accurate.
So Meet Magento UK happened today. We referenced that briefly, ever so briefly.
Are we
earlier.
talking? We were talking about Magento today. That's happening?
Sure.
All right.
You sounded like an Irishman real quick there. We're talking about Magento today. Are we?
Oh,
are we? Oh,
that's Tig. That's Tig's job. Tig has that down, right? Tig is Scottish, Irish. God, I'm horrible at this.
One of the two. For sure, one of the two.
Yeah.
He's a tall man. He's a tall individual.
And the most sincere and moving speakers I've ever witnessed in my life. He's we all could learn a lot more from Tig. Tig Bo, I believe, is how you say his last name. Smart guy. Love that.
I don't know if I've I don't know if I've caught any of his talks.
I've seen him speak at Magento Mage Titans on at least 2 occasions.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Meet Magento UK debuting a number of new speakers today. I did not have the pleasure of dipping in. I've had a very busy meeting schedule today and today and every day for the last 3 months. But I can't wait to watch it on the replay. I really want to catch up on what's going on. I know that there was a lot of activity around, like a lot of conversation and buzz on Twitter around headless. So pretty excited to hear about some of that.
Yep. Yeah. I saw a lot of people were very excited. I didn't get a chance to dip in, but yeah. So super cool, super cool. I didn't have anything else to say.
Nothing else to say about that. I really want to get back to this whole tiny house situation.
Oh, dude,
because
please.
So my wife and I spent, you can see with all these keyboards this is a music room for me, and now my office full time until I go back to the office officially. I think we'll be doing that in July, ? I don't know. But in the before times, this was a music room, like a studio of sorts, and it's because I'm a musician. My wife and I spent the first 2 years of our marriage traveling, playing music, and full time. That was a real interesting way to start a marriage, by the way. I could see myself doing it again. I would love to do that. I would, get an RV, sell everything, go
buddy.
full RV, and just travel around and do the Partridge Family thing and have the kids sing a few songs. And
dude, if we were like 10 years younger, like,
and we're not, but go on.
And we're not, but like your initial 2 years of your marriage, you would be on YouTube, right?
You'd have my gosh, yeah. Oh, totally.
And then I could watch like the whole YouTube thing of you guys, and that would be amazing. But because we're old, I have, like, you say that you did that. I don't know if that's true.
It's probably not true.
You could be making you could be imagining the whole thing, But
I look at these YouTube videos of people that have the like wanderlust sort of thing. A good friend of my brother-in-law is an early Uber employee who has done pretty well for themselves now, and sold everything and is doing the RV thing. And they're coming down to Florida, and they're going to park in my brother-in-law's property for 5 or 6 months and just kind of hang out. And gosh, that feeling of like being free to go wherever and do whatever is extremely appealing to me. As I know,
dude,
since it is for you as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is this a recent thing for you? Because I feel like we've never talked about this before.
It's not recent. It's just I know my wife, and it will never ever happen. So why talk about it?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Touchy subject. I'll go ahead and have some LaCroix.
So why talk about it now? Just randomly?
Because you're talking about RVs.
Just because, or is the coronavirus bringing that up more because you're more restricted? Is it like making you think more about how great that
now, okay. All right. I didn't realize we were going to have a psychotherapy session.
Kaylin. Yeah, please. Lean back.
That's really just lean back. Here.
There you go. No, get comfortable. Yeah. Talk to me.
The reality is, I bet that is a small part of it. I'll bet that's a.
How does that make you feel?
It makes. It's stressed out. If I'm being really honest, it's, what's driving me crazy is the order of these windows isn't the same as when we started. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. I feel very confined, and a good portion of my job the last 4 or 5 years has been 27, 28 plus weeks on the road, speaking at conferences, seeing other people. I'm very energized by being around people. And if I were still in the office around, because we're Startup Accelerator, we've got a bunch of young people and young founders. They're like excited about life and what they're building, and people are just pumped all the freaking time. We've got people coming in and out. We've got a lot of public-private partnerships. So you've got a lot of people from various government organizations. I just feel energized by that kind of activity, and every single day has been exactly the same for 3 months. I drink the same coffee, I eat the same breakfast, I eat the same lunch. Like, every day is a little monotonous, if I'm being honest. And so yeah, maybe the RV thing is like just the pendulum is going to swing back in a really aggressive way so that I can, 'cause it's like overcompensating to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. A lot of pendulums are going to swing, lot, lot.
Exactly.
I'm seeing really. There's a lot of pent up energy in it, whether your specific situation or other people in different directions, and it's like who knows what the next year is going to look like.
Not me. I have no freaking clue.
I mean, there's an election coming up. There's everything that's happening.
Oh God, you had to remind me of that. That's dumpster fire.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
I know.
Woo!
It's easier to just not at it.
Let's just pretend like it's not happening.
Let's pretend none of it's happening. None of it's happening.
Stick our head in the sands. That'll fix it, right?
We're just two white guys on a podcast.
That's that's funny. That's show title. That's the thing I've been most concerned about, to be very honest with you, on the last few months, is my perspective is very skewed and informed by my life experience to this point, which I think is very different to some people's life experience. And that gives me one sort of maybe more optimistic outlook on the future. And for some people, they maybe I have no right to be optimistic about the future, or that makes me more optimistic about the future. I don't know. Not that everything has to be Walt Disney and, we're all going to live in peace and harmony and sing It's a Small World After All forever. But, yeah, anyway. Woo! Heavy stuff.
Ooh, buddy.
What is happening in your business right now? Because we haven't talked about that. I don't know if it's a touchy subject, but
yeah.
I sense, can I say what I sense is happening and you validate it?
You sense that it's going downhill fast.
Not downhill fast.
Getting ready to smash into a wall.
Do you feel like the Magento community is growing or staying the same?
The Magento community. The Magento community. It feels like
I'm going to zoom in on you for this. It feels important.
Just get in tight. Get in real tight, because this is going to be strong. This is going to be strong. No, I don't know. It feels like it's in some ways being absorbed into the broader, e-commerce community.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like those of us that want to hold on to the Magento community are holding on to the past.
Wow.
In some ways, right? I told you it was.
I'm going to put that as a lower third.
Great. It feels that way in some ways. We talked about the whole end of life thing, and I think I don't know. I think that there was a time for many of us where you could just be devoted to one platform and live your whole life within that one you were like a fish, and your swimming tank was all one platform. And you didn't have, you could point across at the other fish tanks and be like, those guys are bad. Those guys are dumb. Our swimming tank is the best. But now everything's multi-platform. Everybody's on multiple platforms. And so what does the Magento community mean exactly?
That's, God, I love you so much. And Jamie says, preach. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that there is we somehow did the thing that we were very critical of others doing 5 years ago, which is there was some tribalism there, and we couldn't see the broader community for because of that, because we were very mired in our way of doing things, our us versus them ism, if you will, and the world kind of got on and started innovating in totally different areas, and not just one or two, but a dozen of them. So yeah, we have to belong to the broad. And it's funny because, not to invoke his name because he's no longer around, and that's totally okay, but Mark Lavelle had said, some time ago during his Lead the Charge conversation, which is, they don't sling mud and they don't name names, because really we're all part of one ecosystem. And when we when e-commerce grows, we all benefit. And he was right. I don't think we all took that very diplomatic way of saying it to heart the way we probably could have. But this idea that to succeed you have to compete directly and start kind of going tit for tat, and that is one way to have done it. It seems to have worked for Shopify, because Lord knows they punched up a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot of punching. Did you notice, have you seen the stuff with the Hey email client and the Apple stuff?
Tell me. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe you can actually tell me. All I know is that I had to mute DHH on Twitter because it's insufferable.
So
I'm zooming in on you for this because it seems really important.
Tight. Bring it in tight.
Getting in tight.
I've muted him on and off throughout the years. No, but so Hey is a Hey.com.
Yep.
Is a new email client by the Basecamp team, Jason Fried, DHH, the Basecamp team. And it's really cool. It has a bunch of unique features to it. And they got real upset because Apple so they have an Apple, they have an iPhone app, Android app, and all that kind of stuff. And Apple, I think, so they put their app on the App Store, and then I think they got blocked from doing any updates to the app because they're not using Apple's monetization feature, Apple's subscription feature. And so Apple wants to force apps to use their subscription features. Now, there are a few exceptions, like certain types of apps have exceptions. I believe Spotify got an exception, and things like that.
Oh, so the ones that are culture defining. Yeah,
exactly. So they made exceptions because if you use their feature, they want 30% of your revenue, I guess, that goes through that feature. And so, they got real upset about that because they basically don't want to use the Apple's native subscription feature.
This is what I would call the Karen Baker argument of we don't need you to survive, and then give it 2 years and they'll be right back in the App Store. And I don't know anything about what you're talking about because I'm only hearing this for the first time. Is Apple doing something underhanded, or are they using this as a platform to get people to pay attention to them? Is my question.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying, that they're doing what's called beef marketing.
Wait.
Paul Graham.
Beef marketing? I can add in a. There we go. Yeah. Beef marketing. That's. So
it turns out that there's a lot of, independent app developers that have run into the same issue, where they get squeezed by Apple for this revenue cut.
I'm shocked.
And
this is the least surprising thing I have ever heard in my life, that Apple. Wait, hold on. You're telling me Apple is being protective over its system, its ecosystem, by wanting people to charge money so that they can profit from it? That's shocking.
Insane. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. When initially my reaction was like, "Oh, that sucks," but as I've thought about it more, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how. As a customer, as a user, for example, I recently tried out this piano app with my kids, and on an iPad, and then it was like a 7-day free trial. So I was like, I'm going to cancel. We're not really using it. And then when I went to cancel, I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm going to probably have to call somebody.
It's like a whole thing you have to go through just to get it done, right?
I was ramping up because it was like $150 a year. I was like, I'm going to do what I got to do. If I got to call somebody, I'm going to call somebody. And then I'm Googling. I'm like, I can't find in the app how to cancel. How do I cancel? So then I Google it, and it's like, just go into your Apple subscriptions and cancel from your Apple subscription. And I was like, this is amazing. So it just was baked into the native. It's not even in the app itself because it's just in Apple subscription management.
Oh, wow.
So as a user, it's nice to be able to use the native subscription features.
Yeah.
As a company, I mean, we talked about this with Magento, right? Because Magento started to want to get, was it 20 or 30% of all revenue? Remember we had that discussion back in the day of like all revenue of a
That's
SaaS
why I said
app?
this is the Karen Baker argument. This is exactly what I was saying
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. It's why Commerce Hero, or it's why that Magento email thing that you made would never shouldn't have been in the App Store, because you'd have to give up an unnecessary amount of revenue, that you were being successful without the App Store. So why do you need the App Store?
Right. But the difference is, right? Like the difference is that's a great example. But the difference is that with a Magento extension, people can just download it on their own. Like being on the App Store is helpful for distribution. And there was a time when all you had to do was put something up on the extension marketplace and it would go bananas, right? But with an Apple, like here's the thing, I genuinely believe if Basecamp could have an app that you could only download from their website, an iPhone app, and they did not have the distribution of the App Store, I think they'd be fine with that because they have their own distribution. Like, I don't think they need the distribution of the App Store, but you don't have that option. With an iPhone app, if you're not in the App Store, you can't be used by an iPhone user, right?
I don't know about that. I understand the argument you're making, but I uninstalled Twitter. And maybe it's not anywhere near as complicated. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. But I uninstalled Twitter from my phone back in April, I think. I took a Twitter break through March and April. And
by the way, worst 2 months of my entire life, if I can just say that. You may have been out there enjoying a blissful 2 months. I was like, Twitter sucks. Twitter sucks. Twitter. Oh, Phil's back.
That's really freaking funny. But when I came back, I decided I didn't want to install the app again because it owned way too much of my every waking moment. It's like not only is the app always there, it was, unfortunately for me, it's like I had it on the home page and it's always open. I get push notifications and when I'm not paying attention to it, it's fighting to make me pay attention to it. It's like not the greatest experience for, my mental health. And I just decided, I'm like, I'm not going to reinstall the app. So I use the PWA. I use Twitter Lite on a Chrome tab, and it's amazing. And I have more control over when it's open, where I see it. I don't put it on the homepage. I don't have notifications enabled. It's a better experience for me. And be honest with you, I wouldn't know the difference between it and the app because they feel like one and the same thing now. So I feel like you can have a pretty native app experience with something like Hey, which is an email client. Like, couldn't you just do that in a web browser and just be done with it? Or
that's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Though, like I'm probably singing a song that Eric Irway made up, wrote the lyrics to. But I think that PWA gives you more access to having more app-like experiences, but knowing things like penetration and like usage and device types maybe is not as clean as.
If you say penetration one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
And like penetration, you got it on 2 devices. That's multiple penetrations.
So I had something I was going to say, but it's just completely...
It's gone now.
No, actually, that's a good point for quite a few reasons. There's a lot of features within Hey that kind of buck against the trend of notifications all the time, sort of always on expectations, which is... So there's...
Yeah, tell me more about that, because that's an interesting cultural shift.
You're going to love it. By default... Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. Oh, yes. By default, there's no notifications. You have to actually enable notifications per sender or per email thread if you want them.
Right.
And the whole Basecamp team is very big on that. I mean, that's something they've built into Basecamp. That's something that they have. So the Hey product, and as well as Basecamp, is very opinionated. They're very opinionated about the right way to do work, the right way to do remote work, kind of work-life balance. Jason Fried talks a lot about that. And so actually, that's a really good point. And now that I think about it, Hey seems like something that you want to pretty much use at your desktop for getting work done. And I watched the whole like 37-minute demo video that he did. It was great. And I can't really imagine doing that much on an iPhone other than quickly checking or quickly searching or whatever. So yeah, that's a good point. I don't even know. It's like I was so hot and bothered about the Apple App Store thing, and now I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I care or not.
Well, it's just beef marketing. That's I've never heard that phrase before, but it's my new favorite phrase. And hashtag beef with Phil, which was a trending hashtag that you created for people that are angry at me, which is great. At least we can consolidate it onto one place.
When did I do that? Is that something?
I don't remember. It was really funny. It was a joke. Beef.
Oh my god.
With hold on.
I've really forgotten more things.
All of our jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know how they say like I've forgotten more things than you've ever done in your life. What's the expression? Like
it's hashtag beef with Philip, and a lot of people tweeting on the beef with Philip. That's okay. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
It has a bunch of cool features. So by default.
Did you sign up?
So I requested an invite in May, and I have not gotten my invite in yet. So I'm just scrolling Twitter all day long.
You weren't invited to the party.
Yeah, I'm not in the party yet.
What do you know about Clubhouse? Have you heard about Clubhouse?
Oh God, I want to be into Clubhouse so bad. So,
so what you're saying is the FOMO works.
Here's the thing with the FOMO. So Clubhouse is also an invite-only new product that's launched recently, and that I am experiencing FOMO buying with. On behalf but here's the thing, like. Clubhouse is, I believe Clubhouse is like an audio only live chat social network type deal.
That's correct. And as far as I understand, okay. I've also muted that. I've also now muted that on Twitter because I literally can't. Right?
That's hilarious.
I'm glad you find that so funny, but yeah.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, no, I really like. So the way that I understand the product works is that you can randomly hop into a chat, and it's audio only, and you can just jump in and just randomly. So I don't know exactly how, but it manages to create like serendipitous conversations with people. And I find that really compelling because like I'll randomly want to just talk to people because I have no friends, like real life friends. so like
I shouldn't laugh, but that's freaking sad. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't laugh at that at all. But
you're a horrible person. It's okay. So sometimes I'll randomly call people and it'd be weird, but I just find that functionality really cool. So I want to try that out once it's open.
There's a new app that it's being sort of it's in alpha right now. That's being piloted by the folks who built Pattern Brands, which we talked a lot about last year on Future Commerce. And they are brand founders that create like consumer brands, like hard goods that you would buy online, and like cookware and housewares, that sort of thing. But they've founded a tech product called Geneva, and Geneva has a very similar feature where you can just go into, it's like Slack, but Slack for not business, Slack for like communities to kind of hang out in. And there is a channel where you can you can just jump in this channel and everyone's mic is on and you can just talk. And so cool. I'm guessing that's what Clubhouse is. I wouldn't know. I have no idea.
That's really cool. I have to check that out. Geneva.
Yeah, Geneva. I can send you an invite to the Pattern Brands Geneva, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's an
Hey,
interesting thing. Like, who knew audio, right? Who knew?
yeah.
Yeah.
Audio. It's a whole thing.
The world is trying to get back to more long form communication because it turns out tone is really hard in 140 or 280 characters on the internet.
This is true.
But,
by the way, I saw you making fun of Twitter's new audio feature. I'm super pumped.
Are you for real?
I can't wait.
This is gonna revolutionize your workflow for all the stuff you do.
It's gonna change everything. Right when I saw your tweet, I was like, "Wait, what? What?" And then I immediately went to see if I had it. I don't have it yet. Or else
it's on iOS. Yeah.
Oh, it's only on iOS.
Only on iOS. Are you on iOS?
I'm
That's
not.
the problem. Are you on a Pixel?
I'm a Pixel man. Yeah.
I freaking love my Pixel.
Pixels are great. Pixels are fantastic. So let's talk about this Walmart Shopify thing.
Let's do that. This seems relevant on a Magento podcast.
It's e-commerce.
Can I start it with a Magento centric story though? Because I think a lot about this sort of stuff. So I would like to start with blah, 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 Walmart, blah, blah, Shopify. Okay. Over a year ago, so we're talking, I don't know, March or April, something like that. It was sometime around, I think it might have been before Imagine last year. About a year ago, Adobe had this really stealth announcement that they had partnered with Amazon to create branded stores for people on Magento. And Adobe was all in on this thing. It was totally chill. Brian Lang, who of the Future Commerce podcast, was previously worked at Amazon and was on the partnerships team there. And he worked for his entire tenure at Amazon was to facilitate this deal. So he was so pumped about it. The announcement came out and left, and I never heard another thing about it. In my mind, Amazon plus Adobe would have been the killer app for small and medium-sized businesses. And the announcement happened. I don't know what's happened since. No idea. But now, here we are. Front page news on every retail trade this week. It's Walmart and Shopify, which seems like very much the same opportunity in a different segment. It's probably much smaller businesses, but anyway, what do you think about it, Kaylin?
I don't know. I think it's kind of neat.
Cool. Next topic.
So my understanding is that it makes it easy for Shopify merchants to push their products through to the Walmart marketplace.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it? Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
It's an important thing.
So that's, yeah. I mean, I still remember, I think it was one of the Forrester analysts at Imagine once that talked about how everybody copies a lot of Amazon's tactics, like free shipping, things like that, but they don't copy the marketplace, which is really their most profitable, the most profitable component of their e-commerce business. And so it's interesting that Walmart's hitting that, because who buys something on Walmart marketplace now? Does anybody do that?
So I'm glad you said that, because I am prepared with data.
Ooh.
In 2018 to 2019, Walmart's e-commerce grew 43%, and 19 to 20, it grew 37%. It ended 19 to 20 with a gross of... I just had it, and I'm stupid because I scrolled past it, and now I'm never going to find it again. Walmart's I don't know, 40 billion or something like that, is mostly made up of grocery. I'll find the number. I'm so stupid. Why did I scroll past that? This is so annoying. Sorry, carry on. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it increases the penetration of e-commerce for small merchants to be able to to reach anyone shopping anywhere, specifically on Walmart. Okay, here it is. Operating income for the quarter for Walmart was $21.9 billion, of which 6.7 it looks like 6.7 billion in e-commerce. I'm going to double check that number.
Numbers on
they're
the boards.
They're losing. The thing that everybody wants to talk about is that they're spent 11 billion on the 6 billion, so they're losing a ridiculous amount of money on e-commerce. How do you spend that much money? Where
$6 billion? Man, that's a lot of money.
How do you spend 11 on 6?
11?
Yeah.
God, I really don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you could give at least 20 people in this 20 rich billionaire tycoons, all kinds of tax incentives for that kind of money, right? I mean,
oh God, I see where this is going.
I think for the merchant class, like the small merchant, this is a big win.
Yeah, be cool. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it works out. It's weird, man. Like even though I keep saying we should just talk whatever, I keep trying to bring it back to e-commerce topics.
Please do. That's what we know the best.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, yes and no, but like,
would you buy an RV on the internet? That's
it's like this habitual thing. Even if like, because I think the best conversations are when you're just talking about whatever's you're the most interested in. But it can be this thing you do where it's like, oh, we're supposed to talk about these topics, so let me create a list of them and remember to talk about them, even though I don't know. I don't have that much to say about it.
I don't know, man. There's let's think about it this way. I think Magento, despite some of the rhetoric over getting a site live in 10 days and some of that garbage, I have seen it takes longer for Magento to get a DocuSign than it did for that 10-day launch. So like this whole 10-day thing, like from like legal and DocuSign to onboarding and like getting Magento to give you access to something, getting a site live in 10 days seems like a bit of a stretch. And I'm glad that they've relaxed that in the post Andrea Ward era. So Magento coming up market is, sets a little bit of a more reasonable expectation. But if you're going to start a store, you're going to run it yourself. You don't want to bother with infrastructure, and you just want to like not have to talk to a human being to get it. I mean, Shopify is the way to go. And that is the bulk of e-commerce, is wanting that self-service ability. And remember, I used to make fun of you for just like, oh, just go to the wiki.
You?
I mean, it was like you didn't want to take a phone call to save your life because you were a SaaS business operator and you were you're a one-person operation. You got hundreds of people to deal with. Dude, you are sweating in that little shed.
Bro, I'm getting a little hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Crank that AC, man.
It's cranked.
Crank it more.
This is getting rough. Getting a little rough.
Although that's a dark shirt. You can't really see it. Yeah, tell me a story.
I'm gonna tell you a story. So, I was referred a client to Commerce Hero by the Adobe sales team.
No way! Wow.
Yeah,
that's shocking.
Yeah, and so they were trying to give like my.
Are you gonna get in trouble for telling the story?
No, I'm not getting in trouble.
I'm just making sure. I'm gonna get in real tight on you on for this. I'm gonna. Hold on. I'm zooming in. All right, and go. Oh, I think I've broken it now.
Oh, right. Just usually the best thing is if they go to my website. Oh, you broke it. Great. Broke the internet.
Go.
And so anyways, I was like, usually it's best if they just sign up on the website. And they're like, whatever. So then the person who was referred emails me and was like, hi, we're with insert organization name. This is a reasonably respectable organization. Like you'd recognize them.
You're
And
like, I don't care. I don't do phone calls, so.
they were like, "Can somebody give me a call? Da, 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 I want to talk about this." And I was like, "Well, it's usually best if you sign up on the website." And I'll usually jump on a call once you've signed up, and if you still have questions, here's the pricing. People always assume that they got to ask you about the pricing over the phone. So that's the story. That I haven't heard back from but that
I wonder why.
that was just the other.
I'm curious. I wonder why.
One of my best new clients, actually, they've made a couple of hires. Great agency solutions partner, and they contacted me. I think it was on LinkedIn. Want to get on a call. I was like, well, I did my same song and dance. I was like, well, just go to the website. And I didn't really know that. A lot of times you hear from random people. I didn't really know them, and they ended up like sending me some great emails back and forth. We worked out some details, got them a couple of great hires that they were really happy with, and they're awesome. They're like my favorite new client, and haven't had a phone call yet. So,
best case scenario.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, that's the best case. Phone calls are the worst. I mean, can we just say it? Can we just say it? Phone calls are the worst. At the same time, I'd like to get into Clubhouse. So if you have an invite,
I was about to call you on it, in that you have FOMO for a thing that's voice only. But okay, yeah. If you have an invite to Clubhouse, send it over to Kaylin. If you have an invite to Clubhouse, you are definitely not watching or listening to the show right now.
Probably not. Yeah, you're probably in Silicon Valley, doing things that Silicon Valley people do, that kind of thing.
Oh, YOLO, says Ben Lasani. Oh gosh, I didn't even see that. We need a little bit of I got to throw it up on the board here. Come on, Ben. There we go. Ben says YOLO. YOLO, Ben. This has been fun. I really like this platform for live stream. Really like it, and it looks beautiful. It
looks great. I can't. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't wait to look at it because the quality here, I can't wait to look at myself. No, it's just that like last time we had such a great convo, and then I looked at the quality and I was like, eh.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
This quality looks really good. So
yeah, we'll ramp it up. It'll only get better over time. This is gonna be good stuff. Last thing, what are you working on right now?
So I'm doing a new version of the site, Commerce Hero site, which has been fun. I'm using Algolia for the search, which is really neat.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh nice.
It is cool. I love really Algolia. Cool. Yeah, it's really neat. Like just my keyboard shortcuts for everything. Like I want to be able to do everything with keyboard shortcuts, and it's just so cool. It's cool how fast Algolia is. I'm also, I think, going to be able to use that to get better search results for like, for example, TJ was looking for a React. He posted a tweet recently about looking for a React PWA developer. I was like, I need to have that on my site. I need to have a landing page for that. So I worked on a landing page for that. And so I'm doing a bunch of stuff with that. Basically, I'm redoing everything that I went the no-code Webflow kind of route. Right. I'm using Tailwind, which is really nice for UI. Just keeping it really, really simple, kind of simplifying a lot of this stuff. I'm having a good time with it. A lot of stuff left to do, but it's pretty cool. I'm also doing public profile. So the evolution of Commerce here is kind of weird. I started out with, it was sort of a social network. Like people had profile pages, and it was meant to be mostly all freelance work. And
I remember that. I have a profile page that I didn't create that I think you made for me.
Did I make it for you? All right.
I feel like you did. Or you made one for Alan Storm. One of the two. I can't remember.
I don't think I wouldn't have done that. I would not
have done. Sounds like a thing you might have done. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, then people started saying, well, I want to hire somebody full time. And then full time people wanted private profiles. And then I got a little concerned about disintermediation, or in other words, somebody wants to hire somebody without using the platform. So I went super into the private profiles to where it's just not that usable. Like if you go to a site and you see a bunch of stuff, and like if you want to make your profiles really private, you can't allow too many profile descriptions either, because people will leak their contact info in their profile descriptions. So everything was just not very usable. And so now I'm going back to like public profiles for people that want to make them public. And if they want to make them anonymous, like if somebody's looking for a job, privately, they can do that. But, I'm just going that route because I think it makes for a better product. And even though
I feel like there's an opportunity to like pivot to like an adult friend finder kind of a service with Commerce Hero.
I mean, listen, nothing's off the table,
If you could get some penetration in that market, I think.
As a business owner, as a startup founder, you have to be ready to pivot at all times. So,
yeah. Little did you know what you were building all along.
Yeah. Never say never, but no. So that should be cool.
I mean, I feel like you could say never on this one, but okay.
Listen, okay.
It's hard
never
out here.
Say never.
It's hard. It's hard out here.
It's a tough economy out here, man.
Yeah, you got to get that paper.
Yeah, you got to get that paper. What about you? What's the heck are you working on?
I'm so glad you asked. I just released a very large report that we did for
9
Future
by
Commerce.
9.
Yeah, 9 by 9.
I'm seeing all the tweets. Tell me all about it.
Oh, thanks, man. 9 by 9 is a brand report that we did with our partners at Klaviyo, and we started out with this idea of let's do a profile of brands that we feel like are doing right by the customer. Like there are some that come up over and over in our universe of content, and let's talk about those. And as we started digging in and doing research over a period of 6 months, we started finding all kinds of brands that were doing some truly amazing things that we had never heard of before. And so we started looking at those and sort of scoring them. We hired a market research firm to help us do a lot of interviews with experts in our field. We brought our 72 Future Commerce alumni and 15 of our expert network members together to help us create that score and create the algorithm by which we rank the brands. And then we go out to market and we ask people like what makes a brand meaningful, and we use their feedback to help score the brands. So this is that. There's 9 categories. They're brands like they're technology platforms that are challenging Amazon Prime and bringing the capabilities of like an Amazon Prime sort of infrastructure, logistics, and technology down to every mom and pop brand. Pretty much everybody has the ability to compete with Amazon Prime nowadays if you have the right technology suite. So a bunch of tech vendors and last mile and logistics that are on that list. We have community-centric brands. We have purpose-driven brands. We have and so it's 9 by 9, meaning there's 9 categories and 9 brands a piece in each. It's our first one. We're going to do this annually, and we're really proud of it. And yeah, check it out at Future Commerce, and let us know what you think about it. I'd love to get all kinds of feedback. It's our first one, and coming from the open source world, we open sourced our scoring methodology, which is sort of scary because that's not the thing that makes this. That's not the thing that makes this unique or cool. And it is the thing that most people in this kind of market research space try to hide. They want it to be really like vague of how they came up with the list, and we didn't want that. We've put a lot of work into Airtable to have a method by which we can maintain this over time and be more transparent about it so that people can see the rankings as they change. We'd like it to be more real time and more transparent than what anybody else is doing. But yeah, and it's gotten a lot of press. So WWD picked it up. It was front page this morning. We had Morning Brew picked up Future Commerce and put us on their list of 20 retail Twitter to follow. We had Sourcing Journal picked us up too. So it's getting a little bit of traction.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We're pretty proud of it.
That's really cool.
So now that's 6 months of my life that I've spent writing a 10,000 word report. So now I'm going to find something else to do.
Wow. So you've been working on that hard for the last 6 months,
yeah.
And it just landed. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Big,
It's really cool.
giant hairy project. And we'll move on to the next thing. We have a report coming out called Retail Rebirth, which is the thing we're hard at work on now. We have summer interns starting. We have the whole team. Like, we're hiring a creative director. Future commerce to the moon, baby. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah, crazy what's happened in a year and a half. It's really skyrocketed. So,
dude,
very
to the moon. To the moon. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So it's cool. Anyway, really proud of it. Really proud of the team, and we just keep going. Hey, I mean, one thing that's really important to us is we set out to have a very diverse field, and something we realized really early on. It's really hard to find equal representation and gender representation in this world of founders. We strive to get 50% equal representation, and we came up short. 40% of the awarded brands are founded by women, or have female executive leadership. I don't think that's good enough, and it shouldn't be that hard to find. But it turns out it is, and I think that speaks to a lot of systemic issues in capital. And I think that there's the fact that we tried really hard to find brands that we consider to be like world changing, and by our scoring methodology, we could only find 20 to 21% representation for people of color. I think that's a problem too, and I want that to change, and we're gonna double down and work harder over the next year to try to get that, to change that. I think that's an important thing that we all need. I want to celebrate brands that are founded by people who are inspirational. It's hard to be inspirational when, everybody's, an old white dude. I think a lot of people, I see a lot of founders that are early on that are doing some really interesting things in the retail space, that are, more ethnically diverse, but, it's hard when the scoring methodology very heavily weights towards like an earned media value. Like having some hype or some buzz around your brand is important for the early success, but not for the long-term success. And so I think that that's something we'll address and look at, and it's a fair criticism that's been leveled against it. But this is part of the process, and it's round one. Pretty excited about it.
Nice, man. Makes sense. Well, are we at our time here?
This is it. We did it. I'm really freaking proud of us.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week and whatnot.
We're back. MageTalk back.
Shoot, maybe we'll be recording in an RV. You never know. Kalen, never know.
Kalen might build an RV so that he can record in his RV. Might
literally build an RV.
Why don't you spend some time this week to
work on my AC situation?
Work on the AC situation.
I'm going to figure something out. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I really don't.
I mean, maybe a little bit of insulation and...
Yeah, I do have to work on the insulation. I'm doing the siding. I got the siding from Home Depot this week.
Nice.
And as I was driving home, one of the 4 foot by 8 foot pieces of siding fell off the car.
No.
To the freeway. Yeah. Actually, it broke in half, and half of it fell off. So that was brutal. But 3 of them I got back, and I got to put those bad boys up.
Holy cow. Oh, my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're safe. It didn't hurt anybody, did it?
Yeah. I mean, we did kill one person, but, it was... No. Actually, it just there was a car behind me, and it just slipped right under their car. No
way.
Issue. It's just and then they just drove over it.
I literally can't believe what I'm hearing right now. This is shocking.
It was brutal. It was really brutal.
Okay, well, that's a great place to leave it. Thanks for listening.
That is a good place to leave it.
Glad you're okay.
Guys. All right.
Thanks everybody for listening and like and subscribe and all that, yada yada. Peace.
Sweet. Peace.